So after the completed development of Super Mario Bros. 3, Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka began planning for the next Mario game. Nintendo was planning to release their new console, the Super Famicom, so things proved to be a bit more difficult this time around. So just to test the waters for their new console, Miyamoto decided to port Super Mario Bros. 3 to the Super Famicom. But outside the improved color and sprite work, it just proved to be Mario 3 once again. So he decided that he wanted to create something fresh for the new system's hardware. A while back during the development of Super Mario Bros., Miyamoto had created a dinosaur that he wanted to be Mario's companion. But because of the Famicom's limitations, it just wasn't feasible. Miyamoto-san actually created a green dinosaur for the 1984 game Devil World. The dinosaur in that game would share many similarities to his newest creation. Enter Yoshi, a happy and lovable dinosaur with a huge appetite. Since his inception, Yoshi has become one of the most popular characters in the Mario universe. He was so cute that he even ended up getting his own series later on, starting with Yoshi's Island. Tezuka believed that Miyamoto's love for horseback riding was part of the inspiration for Yoshi. To help Yoshi fit in with the level design, the team decided to set the game in Dinosaur Land. This would give the game its own unique identity without straying too far from the Mario formula. Super Mario Bros. 3 composer Koji Kondo returned to compose for this game. He was overjoyed to compose for new hardware. Kondo used a variety of instruments for the sound effects. He stated that it took around a year and a half to compose all of the soundtrack. Miyamoto said that there were 16 people involved in this game's creation, taking them about 3 years to make. In November of 1990, Super Mario World had launched alongside the Super Famicom. We wouldn't see the release of both until 1991. In Western territories, the game was just called Super Mario World, whereas in Japan, the game was called Super Mario World Super Mario Bros. 4. Not sure why they changed that, but whatever. Plot-wise, the Mario Brothers and Peach go to Dinosaur Land for a vacation, and out of nowhere Bowser kidnaps Peach once again. Even in the Lost World, they can't lose him. While kidnapping Peach, Bowser decides to trap a green dinosaur named Yoshi inside an egg and captures all of his friends. So yeah, Super Mario World introduces us to the green dinosaur for the first time. You ride on top of him throughout the level and Yoshi can eat anything along your path, items and enemies. He can also be used to take an extra hit, but you can jump back on top of him before he falls off a cliff. It's these reasons why I usually take Yoshi throughout most of my playthroughs. He mostly serves as insurance. In a way, he's kinda like the rings in Sonic the Hedgehog, where if you lose it, you can get it back for protection. There are also different color Yoshis with their own unique abilities. The red one can breathe out fire at enemies, the blue one gives you flight, and the yellow ones can stomp on the ground. Since we're now using a controller with 4 buttons, Mario's controls are a lot more varied this time around. In addition to his classic moveset, Mario can now perform the spin jump. This allows him to destroy certain blocks and enemies. Assuming you're using the Super Nintendo controller, you press the A button to use this move, the B button to jump, and the X and Y button allows him to interact with objects such as Koopa shells, using the ability of a power-up such as shooting out fireballs with the Fire Flower, and holding either button while also holding left or right on the D-pad allows Mario to perform a dash. The more familiar power-ups such as the Mushroom, Starman, and Fire Flower make a return, but not a single power-up from Super Mario Bros. 3 is seen in this game. We are introduced to 2 new power-ups however, most notably the Cape. Grabbing a feather power-up turns Mario or Luigi into Cape Mario or Cape Luigi. With this power-up you can spin your cape around to defeat enemies, as well as slowing your descent while the jump button is being held down. While performing a dash and jumping, Mario can take to the air. When you're in the air in your cape form, you can glide by either pressing the left or right button on the D-pad, though you have to time it carefully in order to perform it. When pressing the D-pad while in the air, I would recommend waiting 1 second and then press the D-pad again. Rinse and repeat. The cape power-up sorta reminds me of the raccoon suit, except not nearly as powerful, and you couldn't glide with it. What I mean by powerful is that while it can't defeat every enemy, it can knock out enemies such as the Charge and Chucks. This is definitely my favorite power-up in the game and I take it with me wherever I go. And the other new power-up is the Power Balloon, which inflates you into a balloon for a limited time. There's only a total of 5 power-ups in the game and honestly, I think that's a step back from Mario 3. While the Star power-up lasts longer than it did in the previous games, I didn't get much use out of the fire flower this time around. Shooting out fireballs is a lot slower than it was before, and as a result, I didn't end up using the fire flower all that much throughout my playthroughs. I mostly just stuck to the cape and had Yoshi tag along with me. The cape for descent purposes and for precision platforming, and Yoshi to just eat everything in our way. In terms of enemies, we have our returning cronies such as Koopa Troopas and Paragoombas! Thank you, Peach. Interestingly enough, Goombas return, but they're not technically Goombas. In Japan, these were called Galoombas, of which their names would not get localized until Super Mario 3D World in 2013. Mario World introduces new enemies such as Charger Chucks, Blargs, Monty Moles, Magic Koopas. It's the most terrible Koopa wizard in the entire Dino World! Shut up, bitch! Wigglers and Bonsai Bill. Oh god. Like Super Mario Bros. 3, you travel from level to level on a world map, but instead of going through different worlds with their own level themes, we're all on an interconnected world map, but without Toad Houses or Hammer Brothers to fight for an item. No warp whistles to be found in this game, but as you progress we do have a different method of shortcuts, which is the Warp Star. You'll find these in different parts of the hub where you'll need to find the secret exits to unlock access to the path that leads to them. When clicking on the Warp Star, you're transported to World 8, the Star World. In Star World, there are 5 levels where as you complete each level, you're unlocking the path to go to the next. You'll notice that each level on the hub world either has a yellow spot or a red spot. The red ones means that there is an alternative secret exit where you'll either have to find a secret door or find a key to unlock a keyhole. There are 9 worlds and 73 levels total, 24 of which have secret exits for a total of 96 exits. Mario World has a huge variety of levels that will keep you on your toes. There's even ghost houses this time around. And yes, the ghost houses even have secret exits. Razors replace Boom Boom as the mini-boss, but Bowser and his 7 kids make a return as the main bosses. I will say this much, the Koopalings fights are a little bit more interesting, but they're honestly not that much harder than they were in Mario 3. And of course there's Bowser himself. Definitely the best Bowser fight in the 2D games by far. As far as my likes about this game, I would say the level design. Mario World's level design is beautiful. Even though it's a launch title, Mario always manages to pull off colorful levels without trying too hard to push the graphics. The visuals of the game in its different setting from previous games gives it its own identity. Mario has never looked this better. The other positive I have is the amount of challenges the game offers. A large amount of levels gives you alternative exits leading to different pathways to other areas. There are P-switch levels where once you hit the giant switch at the end, you unlock the same colored blocks that appear into the levels, further adding to the level design. And once you beat World 8, you can warp to the most difficult world in the game, World 9. Each of these levels are the hardest levels in the game. They will test your platforming skills, reflexes, and overall timing. I think each of them, while the toughest levels in the game, will give you an even bigger challenge than before. Although screw the level where you have to use the P-Wing multiple times. And of course, the biggest addition all, Yoshi. The adorable green dinosaur's ability to eat almost anything in your way will prove to be very useful in your journey. Yoshi has proved to be so popular that he ended up getting his own series of games. Now for the dislikes, the only thing I felt that was a step back was the lack of power-ups and a limited inventory system. Compared to the first 2 games, Mario 3 I felt had so many interesting power-ups that made the game feel fun and also gave more reasons to try them all out. But here, you're only given the obvious power-ups from Mario 1 and only 2 new power-ups, and while the cape power-up and balloon power-ups are cool, I feel they're not enough to give the game more variety. You know, I wonder if this is what Miyamoto meant when he felt that the game was rushed. There was a lot more that he wanted to add to this game, so power-ups had to be one of them. Even so, he did say that this is his favorite game in the series, and for good reason, because Super Mario World is a very fun platformer, and one of the best Super Nintendo games of all time. And I gotta say, in my honest opinion, Miyamoto's most rushed work is still one of his most best work ever. There's often a debate between which is the better game between Mario 3 and Mario World. Honestly, I can't choose. Both games are amazing in their own unique ways. What about you guys? Do you prefer Mario 3 or Mario World? Whew, this 2D Mario marathon was a wild ride. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more notifications on when I upload my next video. Thank you all for watching, take care, and I will see you guys later.